So guys, we're going to be discussing DEXs, also known as Decentralized Exchanges. So, you must have heard about an exchange before, and exchanges range from custodial to non-custodial. When you have a custodial wallet, that means that the third party holds your when you have a custodial wallet, somebody else is holding your private keys. They actually have control over that funds, and you are essentially you have an IOU that that person will give you back your money when you ask, and it has its benefits. And a non-custodial wallet is one where you don't have that. You don't have you get to hold the keys to your crypto, and what a custodial wallet could look like a bank. When you put your money in a bank, it's not that you actually have your money in a bank, let's say, and the bank, the money in the bank is almost not your money because you have given the bank your money, and then you have a almost like a receipt from the bank saying, if you ask back for the money, I will give you it back. But technically speaking, you don't have that money anymore. All you have is a promise from the bank that they will give you back your money. In a non-custodial wallet, you still keep complete access to your crypto. So, moving forward, the types here, let's see, could I get the laser pointer? Nice, laser pointer. I like my laser pointer. It just allows me to, make, woo, you can do a little signature. Right, so advantages and disadvantages. So if you have a custodial wallet, and I'm pretty sure most of the exchanges you guys use, Coinbase, Binance, Kraken, all these are custodial wallet, custodial services. There's account recovery. It's possible. So if you lost your password, if something happens, you could get access by emailing the support system, and they'll get back to you on it. However, that is not possible on custodial wallets. Okay, so then another one is network fees. So in let's say a normal system, you have to pay the fees for sending every single aspect of the system. But because you'll be doing so much trading back and forth, that you're not affected at the fees. The fees you pay are the fees from the service, so Binance and Coinbase, not fees to the network. And when we say network fees, we're talking about mining fees. The disadvantage, there are slower withdrawals as wallet providers has to perform internal checks. So if you ever withdraw money from centralized exchanges, you would know it's not like quickly. You have to wait a long time before everything is processed. Sometimes I remember was removing money from legally liable. They have a promise that they will pay you back, but it's a different promise per se. The wallet provider can be hacked by malicious actors or censored by the government. There are cases where people got hacked and then they believe that the company actually hacked themselves and then say they lost the money. So you have to be very, very careful of that. And then these exchanges, they need to abide by KYC and AML regulations. So KYC is know your customer, AML is anti-money laundering regulations, and that means they want all your personal data. They want your ID card, they want your passport, they probably want your address, and some people just don't want to deal with that. The alternative we're talking about here is a non-custodial wallet. So you retain full custody of your funds, and you can remove your money whenever you want because it's your funds. But you're in charge of your keys. Lose the keys, it is irrecoverable. So you have to keep very careful care of your seed keys, seed phrases, private keys, etc. Also, all transaction fees are handled by you because you are not using any kind of service. You are using purely on the blockchain. And we'll go through this now. So, some examples I just went over. Coinbase, it is non-custodial. Gemini, is it? No, it is not non-custodiable. So all these are custodial services. Local Bitcoin is somewhat custodial with its escrow service. And then you get into being non-custodial and private. Shapeshift, a lot of people know it, but it's still not decentralized, right? Shapeshift is very known in this space. And then there are things like Ether Delta, which tried to get into that decentralized space but messed it up by trying to use order books, and we'll get into that. And then where we want to get to, which is Uniswap and Sushiswap, and that's where the guys in the chat asked if I see potential in Uniswap and Sushiswap, and we will be getting to where that value is. So the note remembers. So not much people remember back in 2013 there was a big crash with Mt. Gox. Mt. Gox was this big trading facility in Japan. Mt. Gox stands for there was this Magic the Gathering. Those were trading cards, playing cards, like, you know how you have Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon cards. There was Magic the Gathering online trading exchange. So Magic the Gathering online exchange, Mt. Gox. And they somehow got into trading crypto and trading Bitcoin. And then from that, they eventually got hacked, and millions and millions of dollars of value and countless Bitcoins were lost. And people to this day are still asking for their money back from Mt. Gox, which, let's be real, when this crash happened, Bitcoin was now going down from 1,000 down to about 200. So with the prices now, there's no way to replace those coins. So when we talk about decentralized exchanges, we're talking about swaps, right? So in every DeFi space, you usually talk about Alice, Bob, and Carol, and that's the entities you use. So we're just going to talk about Alice and Bob. So we need somebody, Alice, who wants to come and do a transaction, and Bob, who also wants to do a transaction, and they have to mutually want to do that transaction. And it's not the easiest to almost find somebody that wants to do the exact same trade as you. So how do you solve that problem? So the Ether Delta, which I spoke about before, they try to solve the problem by using order books. And when I say order books, they essentially would have this ask and bid and spread, which is, you would know when you use most exchanges like Binance and not Coinbase, Kraken, any kind of market trading. This is similar to stocks. So people put in what they ask and what they bid, but this is very slow. And to do this on the smart contracts get processed every 12 to 15 seconds. So the entire system will be very slow, and then you pay gas fees for every time you do that. So then it becomes very expensive. And this is not something that scales very well. And that's why Ether Delta didn't really pan out as much as everybody wanted. So how did they solve this order book problem? And here you can see this person putting in bids to buy, person putting in bids to sell, limit orders, typical stock trading kind of scheme. So how they did this is something called liquidity pools and market makers. And this is where you have the opportunity to make passive income if you want to. And I'll explain this further. So in the past, I did show you Alice and Bob. Alice wants to make a trade, and then Bob is the person who she will be swapping with. And Bob here could be a liquidity provider, which is the person who's going to be earning the passive income. So Bob could say, okay, I'm going to put token A. So he put in 3 of token A and 1 of token B. So Bob is providing liquidity. He is taking tokens that he owns and he's putting it into the system, right? And because he's doing this, because he's providing liquidity to this pool, he will be given 12.4 pool tokens. That just means that that's the percentage of liquidity he's adding to the portfolio. So because he does that, there's this curve here that shows how much of the first token A, and then how much token B is. And I'm not going to get intensely into the maths because I know people are not here to hear the maths, and I could go through the maths if you guys want. But basically, X by Y equals K, and it basically keeps it constant. So once there's a change in A and B, it would always be reflected to keep the same consistent pricing scheme. And then once you have more liquidity, that means you have low slippage. Low slippage just refers to the ability for the price to change. So when you're going to make a trade, they will tell you how much price slippage it would have. 0.1%, 0.3%, 1%. 1% is high slippage. 0.3% is reasonable. And that just simply says the price I'm going to ask for, this is the amount of reasonable error I want when you actually do give me the money. So that's what the slippage is. And this what you call automated market maker solution is where Uniswap amazing value is. You could automatically provide liquidity for both tokens, and then the system would work out how much is the value of each. So let's get back to the liquidity provider, which we had as Bob, and the trader, who is Alice. Alice wants to get a new coin. Bob has the coins. So Bob has token A and token B, and he has 4 liquidity shares. This is the shares he gets for adding liquidity into the market. Because he had 10 token of A and 1 token of B, that means there was 90 tokens from other liquidity providers and 9 tokens from other liquidity providers, and that's how much exists in Uniswap. And because of this, he gets a certain share of liquidity tokens, pool tokens. And what happens is, now that because the shares exist in Uniswap, when Alice comes and asks for token B, she has token A, so she says, okay, I'm going to give 10 tokens of token A. Then she pays the 3% fees. Then that goes into Uniswap. You see it goes in, and then she gets her 1 token out. And what happens is that 10 token B goes down to 9, and the 100 token A goes up to 10, and that actually changes where this point is on the graph. So either you're increasing in token B and going down in token A, or you're increasing in token A and you're going down in token B. And that's how you arbitrarily keep the price. Now, how does the liquidity change? So let's just use this example where this person comes to buy ETH. So they have DAI, and DAI is 1-to-1 with USDC. So that means $1 in DAI is $1 US. So this person comes to buy with DAI, and then he goes to the DAI ETH pool, which means you could give somebody DAI and you would get ETH, right? And this person then, because they are buying DAI, the amount of ETH in that pool would go down. And then also, because they give you DAI, the amount of DAI you have goes up. Because the amount of reserves of ETH in the liquidity pool is going down, that means the price of ETH should go up. It's becoming more rare, so it should become more valuable. And then because the price of the amount of DAI you have is going up, that means the price should go down because it's less rare. So these and then the larger the pool, the more you could accommodate for these slight discrepancy changes. But if you come and ask for a large amount, then it's not possible for them to give you a low slippage. So this is I'm trying to be as least technical to see the value. So if you sitting down there, KK or Devon X Scott, Devan, any of you guys there, and you have ETH or DAI, or you have Uniswap tokens, you have RV, you have with some other good tokens right now on the market. Mana is huge right now. You could literally go and provide it on the pool, on the exchange, and when you provide it on the pool, on the exchange, they will pay you for providing our liquidity, and that's what we're gonna get to now. So there's something called arbitrage that keeps the price right. So if you find that there's too much liquidity on either side of the pool, you could basically go and take out a loan or go and buy it from another exchange, put it into Uniswap, and then make money on the excess. And that's how you constantly make sure the amount of liquidity and the price is great. So let's look at the liquidity pool tokens, the LP tokens, which is what I spoke about before. So you, as the liquidity pool provider, you giving your tokens essentially, or letting the Uniswap pool access your tokens for swaps. And because of that, you will be given liquidity pool tokens. And that essentially shows you how much of the pool you provided. So what percentage? And then if you want to make money, essentially, remember that 0.3% fees we discussed? Let me see if we could get back to it. The 0.3% tools, you would see the 0.3% here fees. That fees don't just disappear. That 3% fees goes back to the liquidity pool providers. So whenever you feel happy with how much money you've made and you want to cash that out, and when I say cash them out, I mean effectively just come out of the liquidity pool, you can effectively burn the tokens and receive back money from the fees. And that's how you could do what some call yield farming and effectively make money by providing liquidity. So people want to talk about Sushicoin and what Sushicoin is. And a lot of people don't know, but Sushicoin from a code base is literally 100% Unicoin and Uniswap. And the reason why Sushiswap and Uniswap is so similar is because somebody, remember, all this code is open source, which means it's completely accessible to the public. And somebody said, okay, I'm going to take Uniswap and 100% copy it, but also I'm going to add something called a Sushi coin. And instead of giving the 0.03% fees to the liquidity pool providers, I'm going to give them 0.0025. And then we're going to take out the 0.05 and give it to people who own Sushicoin. So that means people who own Sushicoin get both governance, so they could dictate the fees, how it's airdrop, all these items, and then they would be able to actually vote with the governance and then actually earn money. And then where the unethical part of it was when Chef Naomi or Nomi, the Chef Nomi, they basically effectively stole most of the liquidity pool from Uniswap by basically airdropping them the ability to get sushi coins. So if you take your LP tokens, your liquidity pool tokens from Uniswap, and you staked it, you could then get sushi coins. And the sushi coins give you a lot more value. They effectively given out sushi coins, and they were able to steal billions of dollars in liquidity pool. But still to this day, Uniswap is seen as the most let's say top tier quality one. Some people are still in Sushiswap. I still like let's say the legitimate and the first mover being Uniswap, the people who made the original code base. And then from there, and Sushiswap had like a lot of questionable things that happened in that space and the people who control that. And then you get into things like Pancakeswap, which is almost our next extent, which is basically Binance. Binance people would know launched what you could call able to steal. Yes, well, they're able to steal. So Binance did what effectively launched a smart chain called based on Ethereum, and then try to do decentralized exchange on top that, and it gets kind of crazy. So that's just what I would call the simple and quick overview of decentralized exchanges. I try not to get too technical, and I think I have been getting technical. Nicholas Jacob, that's okay if you don't have any more questions, but remember, you could always write down questions during the week that you want to ask, and I will try my best to answer it. I have my Chrome browser here. I could just pull up anything and look at it at this point in time. You want me to research a coin, you want me to check out something in crypto you don't understand, and sometimes I don't know what you're talking about, and we could look it up together. But the idea is about educating everybody about the space, and I just want to show the value in decentralized exchanges, and you could look into actually becoming a liquidity pool provider and make some passive income. So I think we've done a fantastic job so far in growing the community. I can't wait to keep this train chugging. How long do you think the cycle will last? I personally think by summer the cycle will end. You have to keep let's say eyeballing it as it goes. And so far it seems like the top will be around summer. So that's my guess. 100K in my head is guaranteed. The question is if we get to 200K plus. And at that point, you're in the scariest of territories, and you're really playing a game of hot potato until the whole thing crashes. That's my sense of it. So I'll keep you guys informed if any of you are in the Crypto Corner WhatsApp chat. You'll see all my updates when I send charts, etc. And I hope you guys enjoy that. So thank you guys for subscribing, liking, and literally keeping this channel afloat. I'm so happy that people watch this live and come back after. Share this with friends who want to get into crypto, and we'll continue to grow this this crypto community.